In case you didn't know, the entire dandelion plant is edible, from the roots to the leaves to the flowers to the seeds. I find the dandelion greens way too bitter to be palatable, but the flowers are mild in flavor and also rich in vitamins K and A. Our backyard is full of dandelions right now, so I foraged a bunch and made 5 meals with them. I started with dandelion flour scones with lemon balm. I combined flour, baking powder, salt, and butter in a bowl, then I added some honey and just the yellow petals from the dandelion flower. Be very careful to make sure no green bits get in. And also, I learned this the hard way, but wash your hands thoroughly with soap after you've handled the dandelions because a bitter taste will linger on your fingers all day if you don't. I added some minced lemon balm, which I also happen to grow in the backyard, then some cream, and I formed the dough into a large, thick disc, cut it into 4 pieces, topped with cream and sugar, and baked the scones in a 450-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes or until cooked through. These scones are wetter than plain scones, and the dandelion flavor is extremely mild. On their own, I'd give these scones a 6 out of 10. They're pretty mid for scones, but they're still scones, so they're yummy. But then I made a honey butter with some grated orange zest that bumped these scones way up to a 9 out of 10. Next, I made dandelion flour pilaf. I started it like a normal pilaf. I melted some goose fat in a skillet, then I toasted off a cup of broken spaghetti, added and toasted a cup of basmati rice, then I added a cup of dandelion flower petals. I normally add spices as well, but I wanted to have a chance to taste the dandelion, so I kept it simple with just salt and pepper. I added chicken broth and covered and cooked until the pilaf was done. I'm honestly not sure the dandelion flavor came through at all, but it's homemade pilaf, so of course it's delicious. I give it a 7 out of 10. Dandelion flour pasta was the third dish I tried. After not really tasting the dandelion in the last 2 dishes, I decided to go ham and added 150 dandelion flowers to this 1-serving pasta dish. I decided to season it simply with garlic and fresh oregano from the garden. When the spaghetti was almost done, I gently sautéed the garlic in some olive oil, then I added the copious amount of dandelion flower petals, cooked them down a couple minutes, then added pasta water, the pasta, and stirred it until everything came together. I drizzled the pasta with fresh olive oil and garnished with oregano. Then I took a bite. It tasted pretty good. I could actually taste the dandelion this time. Maybe a little too much. Dandelion is quite bitter, and some of the green part behind the flour got in, so I neutralized it with lemon juice, and that was pretty good. I give it a 6 out of 10.
I've made a huge mistake.
So this pasta really did have way too much dandelion flour in it, and I picked around most of it after I ate the rest of the dish off camera. 2 out of 10. Next, I turned things around with some deep-fried dandelion flower tacos. I've made deep-fried dandelion flowers before, and I know they taste great, so I thought, why not make them into tacos? I made a dressing out of mayo, lime juice, cumin, celery salt, black pepper, sugar, minced jalapeno, skeleton, and cilantro. Then I added shredded cabbage and some jicama for sweetness. Then I made some homemade corn tortillas because I like to cook on hard mode. Then I made a batter out of flour, eggs, cumin, cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, garlic powder, coriander, and water, coated the dandelion flowers, and deep-fried them until golden brown. These fry up pretty quickly, like 2 to 3 minutes. I served these tacos up with some sriracha, and holy shit, yeah, these were amazing. If you love fried fish tacos, you'll love these too. 9 out of 10. Lastly, I wanted to give my dandelion pasta a redemption arc, so I made a riff off fettuccine alfredo. While the pasta cooked, I sautéed some minced garlic and butter, and for extra nutrition, I added another wild plant from the lawn, purple dead nettle. This stuff is an invasive species, and it grows all over my neighborhood. It's very nutritious and tastes kind of like spinach, so I eat as much of it as I can. I finished the sauce with some cream, grated Parmesan, and black pepper. Then I stirred in the dandelion flower petals, only from 20 flowers this time, and added the cooked pasta with some pasta water. Then I realized it needed more cheese, so I added that. This pasta was way better than the other one. I guess I had to fly too close to the sun to realize that not tasting the dandelion flower is actually a good thing. 8 out of 10. Anyway, that's how I saved some money and ate the free food growing in my lawn. Maybe next year I'll see if I can find a way to make dandelion greens not taste like soap, so I can eat those too. I also heard you can make a coffee substitute out of the roots, so maybe I'll try that. Anyway, the economy sucks. Our dollars don't stretch nearly as far as they should, and our jobs don't pay nearly enough. Connect with your neighbors, go protest, and have a happy spring.